Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be going over the best Fortnite tips for aiming on console and how you guys can be winning your build battles much easier as well. Okay guys, before I do get into today's video, I just wanted to say thank you for all the support on my recent videos. We've been getting loads and loads of likes and views on the recent videos. I think my last video got like 30 likes, which is really good since I haven't posted on YouTube in quite a while. But without further ado guys, I just wanted to say that I will be hosting a V-Bucks giveaway on my Twitter account. My link will be in the description. All you have to do guys is tweet me and say I want free V-Bucks and I will randomly send out codes to some random subscribers. You have to be subscribed to the channel guys, notification bell has to be on. So yeah, without further ado guys, let's get into today's Fortnite tips and tricks. Okay guys, the first tip we have here is making sure that you guys can build to your maximum potential. Now what I mean by this is, if you're running anything other than Builder Pro, then I suggest you make the switch now. And this is because any other build setting can be slower than Builder Pro. Builder Pro was recently buffed and it is much better than it used to be. I made the switch from Combat Pro to Builder Pro, and honestly my building tripled in. I can build a 1x1 so quickly now guys. But if you're not on Builder Pro yet, I suggest you switch to Builder Pro, as it's hard to compete with all the PC players, and because you know they can build their 1x1s extremely fast, and realistically you know most console players can't compete with them. But Builder Pro can just drastically change your building speeds and your building performances. So you know, and I know from experience, I've changed myself, and some pros who play on console like Nick Merckx, he's recently switched to Builder Pro. So you know, it's much better than Combat Pro or any other setting, you know, like old school. So yeah, that's the first tip guys, make sure you switch to Builder Pro. Okay guys, so moving on to the next tip here, what I'm going to say here is you don't have to change your sensitivity to fit what I have mine as. It's your preference and it's whatever you want it to be. So currently my sensitivity sits at around 8, between 7 and 8, it's sort of in between, but most console players, most pro console players will play on 10 sensitivity, which I tried and I just can't do it. I don't know why, but it's horrible and it just feels really bad. So what I suggest you guys do is to build your 1x1s much faster, you guys have to switch to a higher sensitivity if you haven't already. Now you know this is just preference, you guys can just choose whatever you're comfortable with aiming with, because at the end of the day, forget the building, it does come down to your aim most of the time. And if you've got a really high sensitivity and you just can't aim, then you're not going to do very much at all with just building. So yeah, that's the second tip guys. I just wanted to say that if you want to build your 1x1s much faster, you have to play on a higher sensitivity. Okay guys, so the next tip we have here is quite simple, but you have to have some settings turned on and off in your Fortnite settings that will help you be a better player and help you from committing these stupid mistakes that I always, you know, end up doing. But you have to have auto run turned off. Now the reason for this is it will often get you killed, especially on console. It's useful on PC, but on console it's just a nuisance and I've often been killed by it. But yeah, that's just how it is. Maybe Epic will fix this in the near future, and maybe because when you press the buttons down, it often just doesn't stop and then you just keep running and get shot. But yeah, there's also some other settings that you guys should have on and off, and I'll tell you about these right now. Okay guys, so you must all have auto open doors turned off. I don't know why I'm saying this, but I've seen a few people who've had it on and thought it was a good choice to have it on. It's just terrible, and if you're, you know, building with loads of doors, you just constantly open them, exposing yourself to, you know, shots or whatever. But I just thought I'd put that in there, just keep that off, and make sure auto equip weapons is off as well. And this is the most crucial point here guys, you must have turbo building on. And I think I might have said this already, but if you don't have it on, you must turn it on, because it is one of the best things to help console players build much faster on Fortnite. But yeah, basically now my next point here is that you guys must be able to manage the bloom in Fortnite. Now what I mean by this, it's a really it's a mechanic that is often overlooked by many players, and it basically means the bullets fired from your weapon can land anywhere inside the circle of your crosshair. So what you have to do is understand the size of the crosshair. For instance, the tac shotgun's bloom, crosshair is much smaller than the no, it's much bigger than the heavy shotgun, which has a smaller crosshair, and the size of your crosshair will change depending, you know, on what you're doing in the combat. Jumping makes the crosshair larger and harder to hit your enemies while standing still, and aiming will shrink down the crosshair. So this means that every time you fire your weapon, the bloom will expand. So basically what I'm trying to say here is you have to understand the bloom, and I know that this may be a strange tip for you guys to understand, but basically it just means you have to be more precise when you're jumping and aiming, because your reticule will just expand, go in and out if you're jumping up and down or if you're staying still. But basically it just means that you have to aim within the certain area of the bloom to get better shots off with, especially with the shotguns, I mean, as well. So yeah, and another quick tip here, this will be the last tip of today's video. It's basically just to say, if you're not crouching as much as you should be with aiming, especially with assault rifles, you should be, because you can land much better shots with assault rifles if you're crouching. And this could be, I know you're probably thinking, you know, this is a bad tip, I already knew this, but some players overlook this, and I see a lot of players in Fortnite games that are just stood out in the open, not crouching, and they're in a base, but they're just poking with their heads out, you know, and I just snipe them instantly. But I mean, that's practically it for this video, guys. I just wanted to give you guys some tips on how you guys can improve your building and aiming in Fortnite on console. If you guys enjoyed today's video, make sure you smack a like on it, subscribe to the channel. Like I said earlier in today's video, I just want to, you know, host some V-Bucks giveaways on my Twitter account, so make sure you follow me on Twitter and message me on Twitter saying, you know, I want free V-Bucks. I will be sending out some codes soon. Some 1,000 V-Bucks codes will be going out soon. I know it's not a lot, but you know, your boy got no money. So that's practically it for this video, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to smack a like on it, subscribe to the channel. If this video helped improve your aim, guys, then, you know, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you have your notifications turned on. Follow me on Twitter like I said, and I'll see you all soon. Peace.
I can't find my way back to you until you make amends with the demons you've been through. And I can't regret leaving you alone until you find your way back home. Find your way back home. Don't let me drown. Don't let me drown. Don't let me drown. Till you find your way